what Ingmar and I attempted in 2020, taking the leftovers of our ERC grants and a Dutch fund grant to be able to hire you for 4 years as a PhD starting from 1 October 2020. We did not want you to leave. You made already a big impression with your bachelor thesis with Professor Meyer. Your results on optical spectroscopy on the perovskites contested a famous Nature paper from the famous group at ETH and IBM in Zurich. And then came your master thesis with me. You demystified a work from the group of Dimitri Talapin from Chicago University on the formation of cadmium-selenide quantum rings. When I spoke to Talapin, he immediately agreed that your interpretation was the good one. 2 strong contributions to science, and your PhD has yet to start. The first sentence in your PhD thesis says, any research project begins with a simple question: what do we aim to achieve? In your PhD project goals, you wrote in 2020, preparation and characterization of topological insulators using wet chemistry. Investigation of band inversion mechanisms. Did you keep your promise? The title of your thesis is Colloidal Topological Insulators. Hence, this seems precisely what you promised. However, the materials you aimed at were in the family of the lead and tin chalcogenide crystals. You have synthesized and characterized these materials, but they are not in your thesis. Discussing together, we concluded that there was a more appealing two-dimensional system. Flat hexagons of bismuth selenide with ideal lateral dimensions and a variation in thickness that would allow us to study the transition from the established three-dimensional topological insulator that bismuth selenide was to the two-dimensional case. In the synthesis, you got control over the dimensions and prepared crystals, appealing enough to transfer them into a low-temperature scanning tunnel microscope. Jesper Muse found a special state living at the edge of the crystal, a strong indication for topological non-trivial system. This was confirmed by your collaborations with a group of Zela Zanolli and Hengstoff in Utrecht. Alas, the protection is weaker than in the three-dimensional case. Nevertheless, your platelets are now put in devices at the University of Twente to study the combination of topology and superconductivity. You mentioned in 2021 that you wish to improve your skills in physics, experimentally and theoretically. That became possible by going to the lab of Professor Gerhard in Ghent, thank you for this, and perform ultra-fast optical probe spectroscopy, both mastering the apparatus and underlying theory. In three-dimensional bismuth selenide, the topological surface states are important actors in the optical transitions. What would happen in 2 dimensions? The surface states are partially hybridized and connected to the interior of the bandslip. In the experiments in hand, you observed dynamics that showed that electrons and holes must reside in these surface states, also in the two-dimensional case. You did not stop there. In the group of Cirillo in Milan, you performed a second type of pump-probe spectroscopy, studying the interaction of the optical excitations with lattice vibrations. You observed coherent oscillations in the absorption of the pump light. Together with Andres Botello as theorist from our university, you were able to understand why the coupling involved 2 lattice vibrations perpendicular to the crystal plates, and why the in-plane vibrations were absent. Your thesis is centered around bismuth selenide, but you did much more chemistry, and several groups are now using the systems that you have prepared. In Tübingen, with a von Humboldt scholarship in the group of Professor Scheler, you will walk on new paths. I should not stop here without some attention to Jara, the human person. accepting 11 master's and bachelor students, you really made school in Utrecht. Moreover, you were nearly overasked by the department for all types of outreach activities. You have an equanimous character. I did not see you angry in these 5 years together, despite setbacks in the lab and with your health. Persons that know you better told me something about your, and now I switch to Dutch, baldadige humor, which I didn't experience yet. We talked about your love for the violin. I hope somewhere in Tübingen a string quartet is waiting for you. What is certainly waiting for you is a new life and new challenges. Your second promoter, Ingmar Zwart, and I wish you all the best in this.